Safety first. Please start the podcast before driving and do not interact with your phone while operating your vehicle.
After a year away, we're kicking off 2026 with a big conversation. I'm here with Ecolab Chairman and CEO Christophe Beck to talk about what it really takes to lead in a world that's more complex than ever. How do you balance performance, stakeholder expectations, and the human impact of every decision? For Christophe, it starts with putting people first. Let's get into it. Welcome to Impactful Dialogues, an Ecolab podcast that elevates inclusion, mindfulness, purpose, awareness, collaboration, and trust through executive conversations. I'm your host, Senior Vice President of Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Dexter Davis. Well, Christophe, thank you for joining us for Impactful Dialogues. Really excited for the discussion, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us.
Hey, Dexter. Before we get started, I really want to take a quick moment to recognize that it's been a challenging time for many people, many businesses across the community. And you can feel that a lot of people around us are carrying more than usual. And no matter what, we take care of the people and places we call home. And that spirit connects so closely to what Impactful Dialogues is all about: listening, inclusion, and coming together in meaningful ways. So Dexter, I'm really grateful to be here with you today to continue this conversation.
You know, Christophe, that really resonates with me. And it's because we talk about putting people first, and it has to translate into how we lead, listen, and make decisions across the board. How do you bring that to the table when you're having conversations with investors, having conversations with governments or our people to really say that's a big bedrock of what we do? And another question I have to you, we talk a lot about winning the right way. How does diverse and inclusive teams play into that as well?
So we have two questions in one here, Dexter.
Yes, it is. So just mix up a little bit for you, Christophe.
So let me start with the first one. They're connected, obviously. But for me, it's not to look at DEI, sustainability, and performance in different worlds. Mm-hmm. They're all connected. Mm-hmm. And that's why at the core of who we are, of our success, when we've always said since 1923 mm-hmm. that we grow fast by growing our impact and growing our team, well, it brings performance, impact, mm-hmm. sustainability, and DEI together. Mm-hmm. And it's a way to win. It's not being on a social trip. It's not about saving the planet just for the sake of it, but it's how do we do good things for the community by bringing the right teams together and generating value for people who believe in us, being our customers, being our team, our shareholders, our communities. All that is coming together. And it relates to your second question of winning the right way, which is at the real core of my philosophy. We are in the business of winning. And why does it matter? Well, winning means you're ahead. Mm-hmm. You have more ideas. You have a bigger impact. You make a bigger difference. And at the same time, people want to follow winners. I always remember what one of my longtime mentors once told me: if you want to change the world, you need to be wildly successful first. Mm-hmm. When he told me that, it was at a difficult moment in my own life, so I didn't appreciate what it truly meant. Mm-hmm. Today, in hindsight, he was exactly right. And when you win, you can influence, you can lead, you can steer for the better. And winning the right way, the second part of it, is to be proud of how we've won. It's not just to have more points than your other team. It's to be proud of the way we've been winning. We did it as a team, as a collective team, caring about each other, growing as we evolve. When we had adversity, okay, we faced it, we stood again, mm-hmm. but we did it the right way. And that's why those two are so essential, winning the right way. And we know at Ecolab that we only win when we drive impact and we grow our teams. Mm-hmm. And that's at the core of who we are. So it's to bring all those concepts together and not to see sustainability as one topic, DEI as another one, and performance as another one. All three are connected. We grow fast by growing our impact and growing our team.
Good. Man, I appreciate that, Christophe. And it makes me think about, I mean, I was at Ecolab before and came back to Ecolab. And there's something about the culture that really has drawn me to it. And I think one thing I've learned in working with you and seeing you, what I admire, is that you really make it an opportunity for all voices to be heard. And you're open to hear feedback and have that back and forth debate and all those things too, which I think is really important as a leader. And it's hard sometimes as a CEO because I don't know, I've never been a CEO, but it's a lonely job at times. And that value of making voices heard is so important. I think you do that really well. And you do it in a way that I really think is authentic. Talk a little bit more about why is it important that you create an environment, especially with your leadership team, with the people you talk to, where all voices are heard.
It's a few different things. On one hand, there's the assumption that the leader, especially the CEO, has all the answers. That's expectation, but it's not the reality. In the complexity that we're living in today, in our everyday life, we serve 3 million customers in 172 countries with 48,000 people thinking about complexity. This is quite of an extreme. So people expect that I would have all the answers when I don't. And it's to realize that it's okay not to have the answers, but that the team will have the answers. And it requires this shift of mind, and I had to get through that years back of saying the team will have the answers. And if the team is coming up with the answer, well, there will be a much higher level of ownership as well than if it's coming from the leader. So it's a double win, a better answer and at the same time a much higher level of ownership. And this is the way I'm really thinking about it. But there's a different dimension as well. It's to think, what are we trying to accomplish as well as a team? And in many organizations, so we're seen in different silos of functions, of divisions, of markets. You can define it in many different ways, wherever the organization is. At the end of the day, and we all remember when our corporate controller one day said, at the end of the day, we're all in sales. We only have two jobs. One is to serve customers directly every single day, or you support people who are serving customers every single day. Those are the two jobs we have in the organization. It changes the way we look at inclusion, inclusive leadership, because when we all have the same job, all on the same mission, of protecting what's vital in our case, well, suddenly we work as one team. And the combination of both purpose and finding solutions as one team, I think, is the magic of this organization.
And you know, Christophe, hearing you talk through that, you can't help but get excited about that. And this is the part where you want your teams. You feel like you're part of something. You feel a part of something that's bigger than you. And I think that's such an important part, and that's really what's important about diverse and inclusive teams. As you look at the future, 2026, think diversity, equity, inclusion, you think sustainability, and you think the challenges we have in general as an organization. And I know you're bullish, I know I'm bullish about the future of Ecolab in that area. What are some things that excite you about 2026 and beyond?
It's the impact that we're making as a team. We're living in a world that's moving super fast. I think it's fascinating times. And as hard as it can be to be a leader today, I think we're absolutely privileged to be in a leadership role because we can make an impact, we can shape our future, we can learn, we can grow, we can really do things that, well, if you're not in a leadership position, it's harder to do. But one might argue that we're all leaders, even if you're just by yourself. You can shape what's happening around you and where the organization is going. But when I think about our company, and it's so cool that we have this so clear purpose that translates into ambitions. We've said by 2030, we want to be one of the first companies that's growing fast by protecting 2 billion people from infection and enough water for the drinking needs of 1 billion people. And to do all that in ways that are net positive on people and planet. Net positive in water usage, net positive in carbon usage. And we've been very good on that journey. I think it's the magic of our model, of our team, of our company. We can do great by doing things the right way, by winning the right way. And 2026 is no different. We've spent a lot of time planning for 26. And I'm pretty sure that nothing is going to happen as planned, as we've seen in the last few years as well. So we'll adjust, and that's the power of the team. That's the power of an inclusive team, of adjusting with what's going to be thrown at us, problems, opportunities, and capturing them. When I think about a big theme like AI that's been so much talked about over the last 12 to 24 months, well, it's a huge opportunity for us because it's a major challenge for nature as well. We don't have the power, the electricity to power AI. We don't have the water that we need to produce all the chips that need to be produced and to be used afterwards. What we do as a company, well, can unleash that growth. And that's the way we're looking at sustainability as a company. It's an approach of abundance, not an approach of restraint.
I love that.
We'll be able to produce more chips, to use more AI, because we have circular solutions like nature has done it for millions of years. We're going to be reusing water. And when we reuse water, we reuse energy for the most part as well. And it's a better deal for our customers. They make more profit. And if they make more profit, they buy more from us as well. And it's a virtuous cycle for us, for our customers, for nature, for our shareholders. And that's really what's driving me every single day. And when I look at 2026, won't be an easy year, but it's going to be an impactful year for us. And we're going to get there because we work as one integrated, inclusive, global, diverse team, which is at the core of who we are as a company.
Well said, Christophe. And I just want to end with one question that's kind of off the beat path a little bit, just in general, because I've had the opportunity to see you in a lot of different areas. And one thing I've seen and have the opportunity to see you with your family and how important that is to you. How do you manage leading a Fortune 500 global company and still balancing the demands of being a father, being a husband, and what really drives you when you come into work with those two things in mind?
It's a great question. It's a difficult question, and I don't have the perfect answer. And to be perfectly honest, Dexter, I think I could be such a better husband, a better dad, a better friend. I'm not as good as I should be because I don't have enough time for that. I don't have always the right mind space for it as well. And I realize as well, I don't know if it's just me, I guess many are experiencing the same. You care about people around you so much during your professional life. And there's the risk when you come back home that you relax and care a little bit less. And for me, this is so front and center in my mind of trying to care about my family, my friends, people I really care about as intensely as I can, and to be conscious that there won't be much time, but the little time I have with them has to be quality time, has to be valuable time. And for me, the best solution has been to integrate both and to think about it as one flow and not one balance, where your life comes all together on the Ecolab's mission of protecting people and natural resources. I talk a lot about it. So with my family, when I come home, I get a lot of input. I get a lot of feedback. Sometimes I love it, sometimes a little bit less. But that's been a bit my solution because it integrates both worlds and it fascinates them. They're part of the solution that I try to implement in my professional life as well. It becomes one, it becomes this more harmonious flow in life. And it's not true every day, it's not true every year, but that's what I'm trying to accomplish, that it becomes one flow, one life.
Love that. Appreciate that, Christophe. And I think what I really appreciate about you, I mean, you're a real dude. And appreciate that about you.
Dexter.
I do, I really do. And I really like that the understanding that we're not perfect and hearing it from our most senior leaders, understanding the challenge we all have, we all share, and that's what brings people together. So appreciate you, appreciate your leadership, and thanks again for joining us for Impactful Dialogues.
And same here. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have all those ideas without all the coaching I've gotten so from you as well. We've gone through interesting times in 2025 where diversity, equity, inclusion has been questioned. And you've kept me on the right path for the right reason and really making sure that we keep winning the right way. So Dexter, thanks so much for everything you're doing for the company, for the world around us, and for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Christophe. I hope you all enjoyed this conversation and appreciate you all tuning in. Next up, we'll be talking with Margot King, Ecolab's Executive Vice President of Human Resources. We'll dig into listening at scale, turning insight into action, how HR uses data, storytelling, and systems thinking to stay connected to what matters most, our people. You don't want to miss it. It should be a great conversation. And if you like what you heard today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Impactful Dialogue. See you next time.